In the heart of a mythical land where the impossible blends seamlessly with the everyday, a reality unlike any other unfolds through the reflections of enchanted mirrors. These mirrors, vast and ornate, stand in every corner of the realm, streaming the wonders of a special reality show known as The Quest for the Enchanted Rose. This spectacle draws the gaze of both the mystical inhabitants of this world and the more ordinary beings from distant lands. Its allure? A rare combination of heartfelt romance intertwined with spirited rivalry, all set against a canvas of breathtaking magical landscapes that shift and shimmer with each passing moment. My name is Alara. I'm not your typical heroine. My journey is different. Born into this magical world, I was gifted, like all were, with the potential to wield elemental magic. Yet fate penned a different script for me. My magic is fractured, a disability that hampers my connection to the elemental forces that others manipulate with mere flicks of their wrists. In a society where magical prowess is akin to one's worth, my place could have easily been on the fringes, overlooked and underestimated. But the heart of my story beats with a different rhythm. My spirit, undampened by my limitations, thrives on challenges and the kindness that has been both my sword and shield. When the quest for the Enchanted Rose was announced, it struck a chord deep within me. The show was not just a competition. It was a stage where the unseen and unheard could claim the spotlight, where stories like mine could unfold in full view of all the realms. With each step towards the audition stage, my resolve hardened. I wasn't just another contestant seeking the glory of victory. I was a beacon for change, challenging the stereotypes that had long dictated what strength should look like. As I stood there, waiting for my turn to be showcased before the magical mirrors, my heart fluttered, not with nervousness, but with excitement. This was my moment to show that the true essence of magic lies not in the grandeur of spells cast, but in the spirit that weaves them into stories. As the magical gates of the competition's grand castle swung open, welcoming me into its fold, I felt a surge of determination. Here, amidst enchanted forests and mystical waters, I would not just compete for the heart of romance and the thrill of rivalry. I would weave my own story, one where my vibrant spirit and innate kindness would shine as brightly as any magical prowess. This was the beginning of my quest, not just for the Enchanted Rose, but for a place in the tales told through ages, a narrative of a girl who turned her limitations into her greatest strengths. As the dawn kissed the horizon with hues of pink and gold, a surreal calm enveloped me. Today marked the beginning of the quest for the Enchanted Rose, and with it, a myriad of possibilities unfolded. We, the chosen contestants, were escorted through the whispering forests that seemed to murmur secrets of ancient magic. Our destination was as grand as it was legendary, a magnificent castle encircled by waters that sparkled under the sun's gaze like scattered jewels. Upon our arrival, the air was thick with anticipation. The castle gates, towering and adorned with ivies that shimmered with their own internal light, opened to reveal the heart of the competition, a sprawling courtyard transformed into an aquatic paradise under the spell of the moonlight. The pool, a mirror-like expanse, was surrounded by floating lanterns casting soft, ethereal glows, creating a setting both mystical and inviting. Here, magical creatures of all kinds, nymphs with their luminescent skin, sprites darting through the air, their laughter tinkling like tiny bells, mingled with contestants who were as varied as the realms from which they came. Standing at the edge, I felt a pang of isolation. The ease with which others showcased their powers, manipulating water to create spectacular fountains or conjuring breezes that sent ripples across the surface, highlighted my own limitations. Yet this was no time for doubt. Drawing upon my inner reservoir of empathy and understanding, I approached the gathering not with a display of magic, but with the genuine curiosity and warmth that I carried within me. As the night unfolded, romances began to blossom like night-blooming flowers around me, while rivalries sparked like flint against steel. In this enchanted dance of shadows and light, I found my place not as a sidelined observer, but as a participant who used cleverness and kindness as her tools. Conversations I engaged in weren't just exchanges of words, but of stories and dreams, each encounter weaving a stronger thread into the fabric of camaraderie and competition. The host of the show, a figure both enigmatic and captivating, moved through the crowd with a grace that seemed to bend the very air around him. His eyes, deep and knowing, occasionally met mine, offering glimpses into a mind that appreciated more than just the overt display of magic. When he handed out the enchanted roses, blossoms that glowed faintly with inner light and whispered of hidden depths, they were not just symbols of momentary affection, but promises of potential recognized. Each rose granted its receiver a surge of magical strength, a tangible boost that intensified the spirit of the competition. Receiving such a rose myself was a turning point. It was a nod to the subtle strengths I possessed, the resilience to overcome personal barriers, and the ability to see beyond the superficial in others. With the rose clasped gently in my hand, its warmth seeping into my skin, I felt a newfound confidence swell within me. The competition was no longer just a series of challenges to be overcome, but a journey to discover the depth of one's character and the strength that lies in vulnerability and connection. Thus, amidst laughter and whispered strategies, alliances formed and strategies were crafted under the moonlit sky. As the evening waned and the lanterns flickered lower, I knew that this was merely the beginning of a journey that would test us all, not just in our magical abilities, but in our capacity to understand, adapt, and ultimately to transform. As the days rolled into one another, the castle grounds, once an overwhelming labyrinth of unfamiliar faces and unspoken challenges, began to feel more like a crucible forging unexpected bonds. Alliances that had seemed as fragile as morning mist solidified through shared trials and laughter. It was in this evolving landscape of camaraderie and competition that I found myself facing one of the most daunting twists the show had yet unveiled. The host, with a flair for the dramatic that sent shivers of anticipation through the assembled contestants, announced a trial that would require us to confront our deepest fears. The challenge, he explained, was designed not merely to test our magical abilities, but to explore the depths of our courage and the strength of our partnerships. We were to choose partners, and fate, or perhaps the unseen hand of the show's producers, paired me with Lorien, a contestant whose sharp wit and seemingly arrogant demeanor masked a well of hidden vulnerabilities. Lorien and I, standing at the threshold of a trial designed to unearth our deepest fears, found an unexpected common ground. As we prepared to face the challenge, our conversations peeled back the layers of bravado and revealed the core of genuine human emotion. Lorien shared stories of immense pressure to excel, to be the best, driven by a family legacy of powerful magicians. In return, I spoke of my journey, how living with a magical disability in a world that prized magical prowess above all had shaped my view of strength and success. Together, we stepped into the arena of our trial, a shadowy realm that morphed and twisted to reflect our innermost fears. For Lorien, it manifested as an unending labyrinth symbolizing his fear of failure and loss of direction. For me, it materialized as towering walls of water, daunting and relentless, representing barriers both physical and metaphorical that I had faced throughout my life. As the trial progressed, our initial trepidation transformed into a unified front of determination and mutual support. Each obstacle, once a looming specter of fear, diminished before our collective resolve. The experience bonded us not just as competitors, but as comrades, illustrating the profound truth that real strength often lies in vulnerability and the willingness to trust another. Throughout the competition, my journey became more than just a quest for personal achievement. It evolved into a narrative that challenged and reshaped perceptions. Each episode, focusing on how I navigated obstacles, turned the spotlight on my unique approach, using strategy over brute magical force, empathy over indifference. My interactions, often underpinned by a quiet resilience, resonated deeply with both viewers and contestants, sowing seeds of inclusivity and acceptance. The presence I maintained, steadfast and unyielding in its gentle strength, stood as a beacon of change within the enchanted realms. It was a testament that true magic lay not in the grand gestures of power, but in the subtle acts of kindness, understanding, and the courage to redefine the norms that had long confined us. As the competition unfolded with its myriad twists and turns, the relationships I forged, particularly with Lorien, highlighted the essence of true companionship. It was a discovery of shared vulnerabilities and strengths that, in the crucible of competition, crafted a story not just of a quest for a mystical rose, but of a journey towards understanding, acceptance, and transformation. As the competition deepened, so too did the emotional landscape in which we contestants navigated. It was as if each challenge was meticulously designed not just to test our magical prowess, but to draw out the depths of our spirits, revealing the raw, unvarnished truths that lay beneath. This journey of discovery unfolded not just in the arena of competition, but in quieter, more introspective moments that caught us all off guard in their intensity. One such moment was the dance under the stars, an event that promised to be nothing more than a lighthearted diversion from the rigor of the contest. Yet, under the velvety cloak of night, with constellations witnessing our movements, the dance floor became a place of unspoken revelations. As I moved rhythmically with my fellow contestants, the barriers of rivalry melted away, replaced by a sense of unity and shared destiny. The music, a melody that seemed to weave through the very air, lulled us into a state of openness where heartfelt conversations emerged as naturally as the steps we danced. I found myself paired intermittently with various contestants, including Lorian, whose earlier facade of arrogance had now softened into a more genuine, approachable persona. As we danced, our conversation turned to dreams, those we held for ourselves and the ones altered by our realities. It was during these exchanges that I saw the vulnerability he had masked with bravado, a vulnerability mirrored in my own fears and hopes. This exchange, light yet profound, deepened our understanding and respect for each other, forging bonds not easily broken by the competitive spirit that would return with daylight. The duels of wits, another facet of the competition, further peeled back layers of our character. Here, amidst riddles and strategic challenges, intellectual mettle was tested, but so too were our emotional reserves. Each contestant faced moments of frustration and doubt, and how we handled these, supported each other, or sometimes failed to uphold our composure, revealed more about us than any spell of magic could. These revelations were not lost on us, the competitors, nor were they overlooked by the Enchanted Realm's audience, whose reactions reflected back to us through the magical mirrors the impact of our growth. In watching ourselves through these mirrors, we not only saw reflections of who we were, but also visions of who we might become. The show thus transformed into a journey of self-discovery, where the challenges we faced and the emotional growth we achieved spoke louder than the magical feats we performed. Through it all, my own story, one of challenging preconceived notions about disability and strength, wove through the fabric of the competition. Each episode that highlighted my strategy over raw power, my empathy over indifference, served not only to inspire those who watched, but to reshape my own understanding of what it means to be powerful. As the competition progressed, these moments of vulnerability and emotional revelation became the stepping stones to greater self-awareness and mutual respect among us contestants. The journey was shaping us not just as competitors in a magical contest, but as individuals connected by the common threads of our hopes, fears, and the shared experience of uncovering the strength that lies in being truly seen. As the enchanted days dwindled down to the final few, the air around the castle throbbed with a palpable tension, excitement, and a bittersweet undertone that whispered of endings and new beginnings. The grand finale of the quest for the enchanted rose was upon us, and with it came the revelation that would redefine the stakes of the competition. During what was to be our last gathering before the finale, the host, his voice resonant with the gravity of the moment, unveiled the true nature of the enchanted rose. This was no ordinary symbol of accomplishment. It was a key to unlocking profound magical abilities. However, the criteria for winning this extraordinary gift were as unique as the competition itself. The enchanted rose would be awarded not for displays of sheer power or cunning strategy, but for true growth and the embodiment of kindness throughout the journey. The announcement stirred a wave of reflection among us, the remaining contestants. It wasn't just about what we had achieved that brought us to this point, but how we had evolved, the bonds we had formed, and the compassion we had extended. I stood among my peers, not just as a competitor, but as a friend, an ally, and to some, an inspiration. The journey had sculpted me, chipping away the layers of self-doubt and unveiling a strength that was born from vulnerability and resilience. As the final day dawned, the castle grounds were transformed into a spectacle of magic and festivity, celebrating the culmination of what had been an extraordinary saga of human and magical spirit. We, the finalists, were called upon to share our journeys, not through battles or tests, but through stories told from the heart in front of the magical mirrors. These stories would reflect not only our personal transformations, but also the impact we had made on others, both within and beyond the enchanted realms. Standing before the mirrors, with the gaze of countless beings fixed upon me, I shared my narrative. It was a tale not of a disabled girl who overcame her limitations to compete, but of someone who embraced her differences and, in doing so, helped redefine the parameters of beauty and strength. I spoke of the friendships that had altered the trajectory of my journey, of moments when kindness from a fellow contestant had given me strength, and of times when my own actions had hopefully inspired others. As I concluded, the emotional resonance of my words lingered, blending with the collective ethos of the show. Whether I would be the one to receive the enchanted rose seemed inconsequential in comparison to the journey I had undertaken. I had entered the competition seeking to challenge perceptions and had emerged as a testament to the power of embracing one's true self. The finale reached its climax, with the host lifting the radiant enchanted rose, its petals aglow with ethereal light, and announcing the winner. The castle erupted in cheers, but the true celebration was not merely for the victor, but for all of us who had journeyed together, changed forever by our experiences. As the magical mirrors faded to black, marking the end of the broadcast, the impact of our stories was just beginning to ripple across the realms. Viewers, from the humblest cottages to the grandest palaces, felt a renewed sense of hope and a deeper appreciation for the diversity of strengths that truly make a society magical. The quest for the enchanted rose concluded not just as a competition, but as a transformative narrative that had woven together tales of love, support, and understanding, leaving all who witnessed it inspired to find the magic within themselves and in the connections they cherish with others.